Christmas Reindeer Food by Nicole Antoinette. Silent night, holy. As Honey was singing one of her favorite Christmas songs, she heard the dog barking. Running to the window, she noticed Zoe chasing a squirrel. And right before Zoe might have caught the squirrel with her teeth, it skittered up a tree. Honey, 8 years old, turned to her father and said, "Dad, I want to start another tradition to celebrate Christmas." "Okay, but what would that be?" her father said, smiling. "I'm not sure," she answered thoughtfully. "Dad, except for birds, other animals don't fly. How do Santa's reindeer fly?" "Honey, use your imagination," her father encouraged. Honey's eyes opened wide, sparkling in the sunlight. "Dad, the reindeer eat Christmas reindeer food, right? Maybe when reindeer eat the food, that makes them able to fly, and then they can deliver presents to kids all over the world to celebrate Christmas." She stared out the window, excitedly imagining reindeer eating Christmas reindeer food and getting ready for a long Christmas Eve night. In fact, Honey's imagination was running wild. She could not stop thinking about the reindeer. Suddenly, she smelled her favorite cookies, cinnamon sugar snickerdoodles, baking in the oven. So she went to the kitchen to help her mother. "Mom, do you know how Santa's reindeer fly?" Honey said, peeking over the counter. "No, honey, how?" her mother asked, rolling cookie dough in the cinnamon and sugar mix. "They eat Christmas reindeer food," shouted Honey. "Honey, you're so funny. How did you think of that? I love your imagination," said her mother. "Mom, use your imagination with me. Who makes the Christmas reindeer food?" "Mrs. Claus with special ingredients," she replied as Honey bobbed up and down. "Exactly. I would like to make our own Christmas reindeer food so the reindeer can find our home tonight," suggested Honey. "Santa's reindeer have been finding our home for a long time. I'm sure they'll find it again this Christmas Eve," said her mother. "I know, Mom, but what if the reindeer get hungry on the way and they need more food to finish deliveries?" Honey said with hands waving in the air. "What if the snow is too heavy? The reindeer can't see our home. What if—" Her mother interrupted her. "Slow down, Honey. The reindeer will be fine." "I know, Mom, but I just want to be sure," Honey said fretfully. With a worried look on her face, Honey gazed out the window. She wanted to continue using her imagination. It was only minutes, but it felt like days later when her mother suddenly asked, "What's in the Christmas reindeer food to make reindeer fly?" "It's something yummy that reindeer can smell," Honey replied with a grin. "Yes, an aroma like cookies baking," her mother jokingly replied. "Can we make some Christmas reindeer food so I can give it to them?" Honey asked excitedly. "Honey, you won't even see the reindeer, so how could you feed them?" asked her mother. "We could leave the food for the reindeer to eat and call it Ribbles, short for reindeer nibbles," Honey suggested. "How about we make the food and sprinkle it in our yard so it guides the reindeer to our home?" her mother said, eyes shining. At the kitchen counter, Honey and her mom started mixing ingredients in a large batter bowl. "Thank you, Mom. The Christmas reindeer food, Ribbles, will help Santa find his way," Honey said. "Every Christmas Eve, we need to make sure we leave food for the reindeer." "Yes, Honey, it probably will help. In fact, we can make lots of food for you to give to other kids so they can do the same thing," her mother suggested. "Yippee! That way we can be sure the reindeer stop at all our homes," Honey said with a grin. But wait, how will the reindeer see the food from up in the sky? Asked Honey. We need to add something the reindeer can see so the moon will shine on the food and make it sparkle, her mother replied. So Honey added different colored sugars to the mixture, making sure it would shimmer under the moonlight. Honey and her mother made Christmas reindeer food on a cold winter night, and when they were done, they sprinkled it all over their front yard, frosted with snow. When Honey finished sprinkling the food in their yard, she pulled out a little red wagon in the front of the garage, and her mother filled it with bags of food for Honey to share with other kids. Honey went door to door delivering bags of Ribbles to all of the neighbors. When her wagon was empty, Honey was so happy. She was walking back home. Kids started to come outside and sprinkle the food in their own yards. Indoors, the sound of the crackling wood came out of the fireplace. Some steamy hot chocolate and the warmth of the fire relaxed the young girl. As she peered out the window, she sipped her cocoa, looking at the Christmas reindeer food. Moments later, with a crayon and a piece of paper, she began to write.